Hello and welcome to a very special Conversations and Community News from the Hill. I'm your host, Erica Fox. Our special guest is Dr. William F. Bill Pickard, as the founder and executive chairman of GAA Manufacturing and Supply Chain Management, GAA New Ventures and Bearwood Management, a co-managing partner of MGM Grand Detroit Casino, and the co-owner of 5 Black-owned newspapers. Hello and welcome to Alabama A&M University and to Conversations and Community News from the Hill.
Well, I'm excited to be here, and every time I hear about the word hill, I feel better.
That's good, and it's not rocky. It's not a rocky hill, it's a smooth hill. Let's just get into the thick of things, if we can. Just start at your humble beginnings, that you credit your success with words from a teacher that you had. She talked to you about mentoring and just wanted to guide you. What was she mentoring you about as a young boy?
Life. Mm-hmm. I was having a very difficult time in school. I had moved from down south to up south. Had gone from LaGrange, Georgia to Flint, Michigan. And I was not doing very well in school. And she said, you have a great mind. Why don't you use it? Excuse me? You talking to me? Yeah, talking to you. Mm-hmm. And that was really probably the beginning of someone taking a little interest in me that propelled me to do something different.
I'm sure that was a huge culture shock for you.
Oh, culture shock, correct. Mm-hmm. I think I was in the 9th grade, and that's a difficult time for any kid, especially when you're big for your age and all that stuff and socially awkward. But there's a God, and he pulled me through.
That's the best way to go through things, of course, is with God. And so she was encouraging you, and then you've kind of put together your own platform of mentoring and serving. What about mentorship moves you?
I think relationships in general are important. I'm an only child, and I love meeting new people and interacting with people, and I guess I'm a joiner. I joined the Boy Scouts, the Alphas. Anything I could pay to join, I joined, the Alphas, whatever. And it served me well in life because some of the relationships I formed in college are still my closest friends to this day. And that was a long time ago.
Longevity is good though sometimes.
Oh, I think so.
But what about serving? What is so important to you when it comes to serving others?
Well, I'll give you a quote that I love. I heard it when I was in 8th grade. It came from Reverend Otis Moss II. He was a senior at Morehouse College, and I'm from LaGrange, Georgia. And he came to be our commencement speaker, if you can believe that. We were in 8th grade, we were graduating to the 9th grade. And he made the statement that success without service is worse than a thief in the night. And that has remained with me all my life. And I believe it, and I try to live it every day in some manner. Service is critical to our community especially, but to mankind and womankind holistically.
Paramount, I think it's paramount. So with, like every young person, they want to make money. All young people want to have money. So how did that play into you getting to business and you going from wanting to own your own business? How did that play into your college? Did you major in business? How did that get into your higher education?
I majored in social work, not once,
Okay.
not twice, but 3 times.
Wow.
Bachelor's, master's, and PhD. But by the time I was in the doctoral program, money had begun to creep into my life. And I tell anyone today that money is not my God, but I put it up there with oxygen and water.
Oh, it's a necessity.
Yeah, it's kind of important.
Yes, it is, most definitely. How did entrepreneurship come into your psyche? What made you say, hey, I want to be an entrepreneur. I want to own my own business. And why McDonald's?
Well, McDonald's was because it was a magic moment in Black America. We had no Black McDonald's owners. I think I was, out of 10 people, I was number 9 in the country, in the right place at the right time with God's grace. And from there, there's a Chinese proverb that I love, and it says, as one eats, the appetite becomes wetter. So as I got one McDonald's, you wanted another one and another one. It went from one business to another business and then to another business. So I've been very, very blessed. Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, but worked kind of hard and worked, I would say, more than I probably should have or could have at that time in my life. But it paid off quite well for me.
Learning is never done, I don't think.
Oh no, lifelong.
Most definitely.
I probably read more today, I know I do, than when I was in college.
How did you go from fast food to fast cars to go into the Ford Motor Company then?
When God gives you the vision, He also gives you the provision to achieve the vision. There's no limit to what you can see, and there's no limit to what you can be. And so I've been very blessed and very fortunate that I've been able to visualize what I want to actualize in life.
So you went from ownership to being a supplier. Why the shift? Why the change?
Well, obviously, if you're a supplier, in most cases you own the business that you work for or you work in. And we were very fortunate that there was a magic moment in Detroit when we were trying hard to get blacks involved in all aspects of ownership. And McDonald's was one of those things. Another one was the casino, and another one was automotive manufacturing and supply. And I just happened to be in the right place at the right time on several occasions.
And that's how you got into that. I like that. And I said no shifting, no pun intended, but you got into that. And then you invested in GAA, which is Global Automotive Alliance. How did you come about? Did you just happen to come upon GAA? Was it put into your lap? Was it a collaboration or what?
No, we owned about 4 or 5 different companies, and it was a time when things were going global. And we sat down one morning seriously at breakfast, and we started kicking around, what can we call this company? Because now we had 4 or 5 companies. We wanted to put them all together. And we came up with the name Global Automotive Alliance.
So where are they located? I know one's in Alabama, but where are they all located?
Oh my God, Alabama, South Carolina, Texas, Canada, Detroit. We're in several states.
That's wonderful.
We've been blessed.
That is exciting. Why is it important to you to involve people of color, women, college students into your business and to show them how to get their own business and partnerships? Why is that important to you?
Well, obviously I'm a black person, and I have a strong commitment to people that look like me and my mama and daddy. And so that's just a natural thing. We have probably more white people working for us than we do black people, but we don't apologize for being conscious about trying to make opportunities available for blacks. And of course, there are also opportunities for others. So that has just been a wonderful part of the journey, that we can take black people who might not have all the education and all the other stuff. And in 10 or 20 years, you have outstanding people who are taxpayers. You have people who are doing all kinds of exciting things. And today we had one of our colleagues to meet us here. He was driving in from Indiana because we'll expand it to Indiana. I think he said he drove 4 hours or 6 hours to come down here and say hi. So it's those kinds of things that make us different, I hope.
Why do you want to have a partnership with Alabama A&M University? What's important about that?
Well, obviously a black school, and we're neighbors. And we have an investment in the community, and hopefully and prayerfully we'll have some internships available and things of that nature over the years. We'll go together.
So recruitment is important to you?
Very.
So what about our college students? What was your message to them?
Earlier today, oh girl, we talked about her, we talked about Maxwell, we talked about Eric Badu. We just have a good time in that topic. And of course in that, some things we talk about are just life, whether it's success, whether it's failure, whether it's your vision, whether it's how you put deals together. I really enjoyed your students today.
So what was their reaction to the things you were talking about?
Excited. Let's go do it.
Good conversation.
Yes, ma'am.
Good back and forth, I like that. How do you make time with all of that to write a book? How did you make time to write a book?
Well, I went to that place in Montgomery.
You can say
the
it.
Hornets.
It's okay.
And I was really, I used to teach at the University of Michigan. And I collected all these things about entrepreneurship. And when I got down there and met Dr. Booth and some of the people there, I had a little bit more time to sit back, relax, and reflect on what I've been through and what I've learned over the years. And the results is a book entitled Millionaire Moves, 7 Proven Principles of Entrepreneurship.
Wow. I like that. So self-care is good. So I think maybe that means you sat down, took the time, thought about it, and put all of that together into a book.
Yes. Well, we had a lot of people to read it, a lot of people to review it, and eventually we had a finished product.
I can appreciate that. And I truly appreciate that you take the time to go visit historically Black colleges and universities. Do you do that all year round, or you just pick a certain time?
I think we have 4, 5, 6 months out of the year that we probably do this. And we enjoy it, and we learn as much as the students learn oftentimes.
What do you find the differences between historically Black colleges and universities and your, as everybody says now, your PWIs, predominantly white institutions? What are the differences that you see?
Well, obviously, you go on a campus like the University of Michigan, and you might see 150 outstanding Black students. You go to the Hill, and you see 2,400 in the same place, the same time, having fun, marching. Alphas doing their thing, the AKs doing their things. So, just different mass oftentimes, and the tradition and the culture. Those things are so important, especially tradition.
Most definitely. They must keep going, and we must be proactive in keeping the traditions going. You agree with that?
Yes, ma'am.
Alrighty. So how do you want your legacy to be known and to be seen with people?
Oh, simple. A guy with probably a little bit less than average intelligence came around and did some good and left a mark.
And how can people find more information about you and GAA and your book?
Google us, read us, call us, telegram, telephone, tele-Negro, all that.
There's so many avenues of communication, is that correct? I like that. Well, we appreciate you taking the time to come to Alabama A&M University and talking with our students and being our special guest here on Conversations and Community News from the Hill. Thank you so much, Dr. Pickard. We appreciate you. Thank you all so much for tuning in today. I'm Erica Fox, and hope you all will have a great day. Continue to tune in for Conversations and Community News from the Hill.